for us to go from a lead all the way through to revenue recognition and commissioning in a custom ERP system, and we now are enjoying the spoils of that win with all of the data we get, but we have a new COO and a new CFO who are trying to figure out what an active client is. But we're in a way better place than we were. We've got great data, and I think it's not just about the data. You can have a great data team, but if they don't understand how your company makes money, to your point of, revenue minus cost of goods sold, and anything else that you need to bridge in that, it's not just about the data.
When it comes to a project life cycle, so they come into like phase 2 or phase 3. When the design is ready, then they will come and review all the designs, data model, data sourcing, lineage, and then they will come up with some guidelines. So we have certain guidelines to follow.
Customer may not pay for everything. Sometimes if you have the wrong parts, you tend to give those away like for free. Like if there's add-on customer doesn't want it, but you already fixed that, the customer basically gets it for free.
Airplanes have two choices, right? They can either store the data locally on a hard drive and download it when they land, or they can stream it in the air. And the airlines that stream it in the air, some of them got so good that like a fan blade on a jet engine would start to wobble. They would know that from the data and make sure the part got to
proactively.
DFW.
They had that one, right, where they send a cardboard box which is temperature controlled, so that if you don't deliver within that 2 days or something, then it's going to say that FedEx taking a UPS box saying that use UPS or something like that.
No two enterprise customers are same.
Yep.
The language model trained for you, and the data that is used to be trained are entirely independent of each other.
Sure.
They are not cross-training either.
Just from DeepSeek, and it's been Chinese, whatever. Every AI model that you build is based off of some base model. You don't start just from scratch, right? You build from some base. If that base is compromised or corrupt, then perhaps, to Robin's thing, how do you trust
That makes your customer trust your results. Okay, you are showing this because of all these reasons. Okay, I trust you. Yeah, I would have made this logical decision as well.
It's truly like raising your baby.
I think
Right? Because what you teach, like in at home,
That's exactly the same thing.
because they will repeat what you are teaching. So LLMs are the same.
We developed an internal AI product for 7,000 customer service on the call center. Yeah, every time an investor to make a call, hey, can I put a hold for a couple minutes? They're looking into doing a search and document and blah, blah. So typically take 2-3 minutes. For what we did is we were able to reduce the search time, search a document from 1.5 minutes to 12 to 15 seconds.
In my use case, we found that AI is better than a dentist in reading x-rays. There's other use cases where AI can detect breast cancer before a human can, just by looking at the same x-ray a human can, and it can detect cancer that humans cannot. Why is financial advisor so special that it cannot do better than a human?
Well, you have two different kinds of insider threat. You have ignorance or malicious, right? Ignorance is rampant.
It's very
that's the bulk of the problem, right? But that's
data loss
more
due
of
to
a
insider
risk.
threat ignorance is common.
But the malicious insider is usually a lot less of a percentage of the time, but the damage they do is usually exponentially.
Insider threat is relative to the security boundaries set by the organization. I've worked in organizations that a manager can blow up his branch, but not his division. A division manager can blow up his division, but not his region. A regional manager can blow up his region, but not the company. And so a lot of insider threat risk is relative to the exposure and security boundaries and company boundaries set by the organization.
If they don't bring in the change, why would businesses do?
Yeah.
Because they're not getting
Business
anything.
by themselves are not going to implement these changes.
Absolutely not. No, I think we agree
They
with
want to make money.
We have seen this all over the place. Administrations change, and the whole tune of the company changes completely.
It's not just pumping the data.
No, so
We expect the AI models to sort through the data, and we want the data. We want to keep it so that we can train our models, and then
They can sort through, but let's say, for example, if your data is feeding your AI model, like Earth is square, I think I was using the same example. Earth is rectangle, Earth is oval, right? What is your AI going to tell you? It's not going to tell you that Earth is not.
And then it's our reputation.
Well, and that's that's the kind of the thing. I'm going to use Tom because you're a small shop. Tom can have all those things written down in the world and everything contractually right. And I, as Microsoft, screw up. Okay, industrial refrigeration pros. Sorry. You're not in business, but I was limited to remunerating what you paid me.
I don't have that pull.
Right.
But even where
They
I
buy
had to pull
themselves out.
change license agreements,
The damages were only some multiple of what I spent.
The VM I'd say last year you guys were on the audit side.
Yeah.
They're the ones that
There is, and that's what I have to. But we're right now, we're like 20% utilized on our.
So I used to be on that side in the beginning. Downloading governance. ITSM and ITIL experience. Yeah, IT.
Did that
But she managed, they have their dedicated IT staff and
I'm
sorry.
And then I went to healthcare with
Corporate IT.
Gotcha. And then
We are sprinting from January 1st. And I think it has to do with data security has never been hard. Topic to talk about, figure out. ESPN tools are a hot craze right now. It's less about the tool, it's more about what obviously these can do for people, but it's a big uplift for companies if they're not prepared to. We run this data risk assessment. Make sure you have the right
lagging
one
kind of
reseller partner.
data center course. I didn't get as much
reseller partner they can guide
down as I
those things. I don't know who you guys work with,
but
it's been helpful
I didn't
for a lot of
also
companies
get
that
the staff any money.
unbiased third party.
I always describe auditors, you have to be willing to swim upstream all the time. I am fighting the current all the time. And GRC, I think, is we're right there together.
I think someone, made the mention, how do you bring everybody to the table? You can't do it at one time. You'll never get consensus, right? So you just have to bring one group by a time and then bring the others along with you. Because if you try to do it at one big bang, you're going to fail. Miserable.
Everyone wants the platform, that one-stop shop, right? That can do it all. That aggregation takes a lot of time, effort, and technology. That's why not everyone is done. So it's going to be the same thing with AI.
So audit has their own tool, SOX has their own tool, cyber has their own tool. And then now they're all dumping everything.